Deep within the hearts of Central Africa lies two great countries sharing the same name, and that name is Congo. The first country is known as the Republic of Congo, while the second one is called the Democratic Republic of Congo. In as much as this might be very confusing to outsiders, the citizens of both countries have found ways to differentiate themselves. The Republic of Congo has so many names, which are the former French Congo, Republique du Congo, West Congo, Congo Brazzaville, or simply the Congo. While his other counterpart, the Democratic Republic of Congo, is identified by Congo Kinshasa or simply by its acronym DRC. The locals of both countries actually prefer to differentiate themselves by their country's respective capitals. The capital of the Republic of Congo is known as Brazzaville, while the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo is known as Kinshasa. And because of that, the Republic of Congo refer to themselves as Congo Brazzaville, while the DRC call themselves Congo Kinshasa. The citizens of both countries are usually referred to as Congolese. Seeing that both countries go by so many different names, let's just simply call them West Congo and DRC. Both countries share the same border, with DRC being way bigger than the West Congo. DRC is the second largest country in the continent of Africa, and both countries are separated by one of Africa's most famous natural wonders, which is known as the Congo River, which spills down into the Atlantic Ocean. These countries were not always separate. Together with the modern-day Angola, the Republic of Congo and DRC were part of a great ancient kingdom known as the Kingdom of Congo. The kingdom was a very prosperous one and engaged in the trade of goods such as copper and ivory along the Congo River, which was formerly called the Zaire River. The kingdom also produced its own goods through special crafts workers such as weavers who produced the famous raffia fabrics of Congo, potters, metal workers, and many others. Not only were they highly into production, they also acquired goods from other places. There was a high level of trade between them and the people of West Central Africa. Trading was so high that they had to establish the use of a shell currency for easy trading. This spiral shell served as money and a way of storing wealth back then. The kingdom was ruled by a single monarch who appointed regional governors throughout his territory. These governors were also expected to appoint local chiefs. These local chiefs collected tributes such as ivory, millet, and lion skins. These tributes were then passed on to the king of Mbanza, Congo, which was the capital city. These tributes were paid at lavish annual ceremonies which involved a lot of eating and drinking. The tribute payment was also a form of religious practice. The kings were highly distinguished and respected for their position, and they usually had symbols of office which included a headdress, royal stool, drum, and jewelry made from copper and ivory. In addition to the king controlling the army, he was also seen as a direct link to the spiritual world, and he is also an earthly guardian who will protect the people from calamities such as diseases and famine. The king as a person was not seen as sacred, but rather his title and position as king was what the people of Congo considered to be sacred. To further establish how sacred the title was, the kings usually married the descendants of the great ancestor of their shrine. The kings had a council of advisors which comprises of a dozen or so elders and high-ranking members of the society. The kingdom had its own African religious belief which is strictly followed until they came in contact with the Europeans, Portuguese, and Catholic missionaries in the early 40s. The Portuguese merchants were so interested in buying slaves, so at first the kingdom traded with the Portuguese merchants, especially the trade of slaves. At this point, the slaves that were being traded were slaves gotten from wars between Congo and rival kingdoms. The slave trade increased the wealth of the kingdom so much, but eventually Eventually, the Portuguese started taking slaves illegally. And that wasn't all, they also wanted to lay claims to their land and resources. The kings who ruled back then became wary of the Portuguese and put strict laws and enforcements. The Portuguese had no plans of giving up, and both kingdoms eventually fought several wars. Congo was and still is very rich in mineral resources, and so many colonial masters wanted a share from it. So many slaves were taken from Congo during the transatlantic slave trade. In the early 90s, the Portuguese eventually succeeded in taking away their freedom and even abolished the monarchy, which they later brought back, but this time around it was just a figurehead working for them. The Catholic missionaries over time also succeeded in converting a lot of Congolese people into Christianity. After some years, there was a revolt against the Portuguese rule, and that led to the fall of the kingdom. The kingdom eventually split. The Portuguese held on to the parts which is known as Angola. Belgium and France also saw the opportunity and colonized what was left of the Kingdom of Congo. West Congo is a former French colony because it was colonized by France, while DRC was colonized by Belgium, but both countries got independence in the same year, 1960. Both countries make use of totally different currencies. The West Congo uses the Central African CFA franc, while the DRC uses the local currency that it has, which is called the Congolese franc, but shockingly, the US dollar is also widely used. Just like so many other African countries, the effect of colonialism can be clearly seen in these two countries due to the fact that they were colonized by different countries. The French government put in their own rules and regulations, practices and language. The Belgian government also did the same. After their independence, they decided to stay apart in order to avoid confusion, but they maintained a common name, which is Congo. To date, the name Congo still represents these two countries, and a lot of people don't even know this. DRC has over 200 ethnic groups, languages and dialects, and they also have a lot of mineral resources, while the Republic of Congo is home to a totally different tribe, which is the famous Pygmy tribe. They are also very rich in mineral resources. Both countries are bordered by the famous Congo River, which is the deepest river in the world, and they have thick rainforests home to a different variety of wildlife. Although they have a lot of differences due to colonialism, they still have a lot of similarities due to the fact that they share a common history. If you're a Congolese or you've been to any of both countries before, just drop a comment telling us how your experience was, and if you're someone that is planning to visit, I assure you, you will not regret visiting any of the countries. Both countries are very beautiful. They have this natural beauty about them. They have very high plateaus, low beautiful rivers, lush forests, very beautiful forests, and a very thriving wildlife. They have also lots of national parks. As a tourist, you will definitely enjoy your stay. They have tasty dishes, lovely people, lovely music, and they know how to dance so much. You see their waists, they love to move with their waists. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also turn on notifications and stay tuned to this channel for more African stories, history, talks and insights. Bye.